Yo, what's up everyone? In this video, this is going to be a beginner's guide and tutorial on Roblox Combat Warriors. So let's get started. So if you take a look on the screen, I'm on a fresh account right now. And when you first log into the game, you will also be shown the same screen. And also, I'm going to explain everything that's on screen so that you don't get confused. We're going to start from the bottom right corner. So on the bottom right corner, you will see these three main buttons: credits, aether, and convert. Now credits is what you're going to be using to buy new weapons and utility items. Aether is what you're going to be using to buy cosmetics. Now the convert button is basically where you could convert credits into aether. Basically, for every 100 credits, you get 1 aether. And then above that, on the right side as well, you have the daily quests. Now you will get 3 daily quests every day, and each quest has a certain objective that you need to get before you could get the rewards. Now the rewards is on the left side. For this first quest I have, which is to get 82 kills, I can get 40 aether, 1600 XP, and 1600 BXP. I'm going to explain what is BXP in just a minute, so don't worry about it. So remember that every day you get 3 daily quests, and you will want to complete them so that you could get the rewards from it. Now above the daily quests, we have the social rewards. When you click on the button, you can join the Combat Warriors Discord and verify yourself so that you could get 600 aether and 3000 XP. Also, you can follow them on Twitter, and when you do so, you get 400 aether and 2000 XP. And lastly, you can subscribe to the official Combat Warriors YouTube, where you will get 400 aether and 2000 XP. The code section is basically where you will enter a code that is either from the Twitter or the Discord when it's released it, and you will get something from it. Crossroads, along with the picture that is shown, is basically the current map that is played right now in this server. Now on the top middle side of the game, you'll see all these buttons. Settings is where you go to change some of your settings, like the gameplay, your visual effects, audio, and other settings. Clans is basically where you go to join a clan, or you could create your own clan. Now keep in mind, if you want to create a clan, it will cost you 100 aether. Leaderboards is basically where you'll see the top players who have donated Robux to Combat Warriors, the top players who have the most kills, and the top players who have the most XP. Now in the battle pass section, you have 2 different versions. You have the paid pass and the free pass. Now the free pass is basically what every player will get from just playing the game, but the paid pass, you're gonna have to buy the battle pass, which costs 999 Robux. Now every level in the paid pass, you will get rewards from it, and the max level for both of the passes is level 50. To level up your battle pass, you need BXP, which, as I mentioned earlier in the daily quests, this is what BXP is used it for. It is used it to level up your battle pass. So on the left side, you can see that the current season of the battle pass is still season 1. This shows how many days we have left into the season's end. And on the right side, you can see all the rewards that you could get from the battle pass. Keep in mind that most of the items are in the paid pass. Now if you want to buy BXP, you can do so by pressing this button, and in order to buy BXP, you're gonna have to buy it using Robux. Now on the customize button, you will see all these buttons like bundles, kill effects, auras, chat tags, head tags, and parry shields. These are all mainly cosmetics, and you don't have to worry about them too much as a beginner. Now in the loadouts button, this is what you're gonna need to pay more attention to as a beginner. The primary button is going to be the weapon, the main weapon that you are going to be using. So in the primaries tab, we have heavy weapons, light weapons, and ranged weapons. Now as a beginner, you will only have a heavy and a light weapon unlocked it, and all the other weapons will cost credits in order for you to unlock it. So when you first start playing the game, you have the bow staff and the baton that you could use for free. The main difference between heavy and light weapons is that heavy weapons take a lot more time to use, and the light weapons are a lot faster to use. In the middle tab, you will see the description of the weapon. In this case, I have the bow staff. It's a heavy weapon. The damage it does is 34. The slash cooldown is 1.4 seconds. Now if you compare the slash cooldown to the light weapon which you have right now, which is the baton, you can see that for the baton, it is 0.56 seconds. As I mentioned before, this means that the baton could swing a lot faster, by almost 1 second faster actually, and that's the main difference between heavy and light weapons. Now the DPS is how much damage you do per second, and the walk speed multiplier is basically a multiplier on how fast you will walk. Now pretty much for the most part, every weapon will have a walk speed multiplier of 1, so you don't have to worry about it too much. The only difference is that for the ranged weapons, they have a different walk speed multiplier. So basically, if you use the ranged weapons, you will walk a bit slower. Now on the right side, where it shows you the weapon, this is the button for you to equip the weapon. On the left side, the button that says customize, you can customize your weapon with a skin and also enchant. Again, these are cosmetics, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And on the left side below it, you have the skill section. Now the skill section is pretty important. Every weapon will have different skills, and in order to unlock these skills, you're gonna have to buy them using credits, which you can get from the game. Skills are very powerful, and on the right side, you can see there's a section called skill slots. You could equip up to 4 skills at the same time. The only thing about the skills for every weapon is that you need to build up damage from fighting other enemies in order for you to use the skills. Now as a beginner, you're going to be wondering which weapon you should use, heavy or light. In my recommendation, I recommend that you use heavy weapons. The reason you want to use heavy weapons as a beginner is that you want to get used to the combat mechanics and also blocking and dodging other enemy players' attacks. For light weapons, you could swing a lot faster and do some more DPS, but at the same time, it's also very possible that the other enemy player can block or parry your attacks, which will basically stun you and you will lose the battle. In most cases, when you're fighting another player, you want to be able to damage them and then put some distance between you and the other player. This is why heavy weapons are recommended. Although if you want to use light weapons, you can do so, but I recommend you use heavy weapons once you finish giving light weapons a try. Now in the utility 1, you basically have different utilities that you can use. We have offense utilities and support utilities. Now these are going to be the ones that do damage to other players. When you first start playing the game, you will have bear trap, frag grenade, and molotov unlocked. You're going to have all 3 of them equipped, so you don't have to worry about it. Now the bear trap and frag grenade is really useful. Sometimes you could catch an enemy player by surprise, which allows you to defeat them very quickly. Now in the supports tab, as a beginner, you will also have the smoke grenade unlocked for free, which basically allows you to cover a certain area in smoke and you'll be able to hide inside it. These are just the beginner items that you have unlocked, and once you have more credits, you can buy different utilities later on. So the recommended loadout I recommend for a beginner to use is the bow staff, the frag grenade, smoke grenade, and bear trap. Keep in mind for utility 1, 2, and 3, you can change the different utility that you want equipped, so that's why there's a number. Now in the stores tab, this is basically where you buy the cosmetics. We have the item shop where you could basically buy all these items, and each day it will be different items, as you can see on the bottom left corner with the daily reset counter. Now you can basically buy all of them using ether. In the cases tab, we also have more cases that you could buy using ether. Now each case has different items if you take a look on the screen. Now in order to buy a case, you're going to need to buy a key. One key costs a different amount for each separate case. Some of them are a lot cheaper, some of them are more expensive, and you basically just need to buy a key to open one case. The trade up button is basically where you could trade up multiple cosmetics of the same rarity for one cosmetic that has a higher rarity. The credits tab is basically where you could buy credits using Robux. The ether tab is basically where you could buy ether using Robux. The passes tab is basically where you could buy game passes using Robux. Now the 2 main game passes you'll probably want to buy is Vanguard and Gold. Both of these will give you an XP stack, which is very useful so that you can level up way faster. And also both of them have multiple bonuses that you get from the game pass. Now the donations tab is basically where you could donate Robux to the game, and the play tab is basically where we go back to the main screen. Now on the left side, we have the starter pack, which will basically give you a certain amount of credits, ether, XP, and daily spins, and you could buy it for 99 Robux. The controls tab basically shows you every single control that you can use in Combat Warriors. We have the general movement controls, which I highly recommend that you look over and understand which key does what, because great movement is how you avoid other enemies' attacks. The melees tab basically shows you the different keys and controls that you can use to either block another enemy player's attack or to finish them. The range tab is basically for using the bows and the crossbows, and the MISC is basically for using the emote wheel for using emotes. The play button is basically where you go to play and hop into the game. Below the play button, we have the store, the loadout, the customize button, and the battle pass, which I already went over. This button on the bottom left corner is for premium AFK rewards. Basically, you will get rewards for being a premium user, and if you AFK in the game, you can get rewards, but only if you are a premium user. The button next to it is the daily spin. You will get a daily spin each day, and basically you will spin the wheel and you can get a certain reward from it. Keep in mind that you have to be at least level 10 to get a free daily spin every day. The bottom row, this button is the leaderboard, this one is the clan, this one is the update log, which shows you all the current updates and the most recent one as well. This one is the settings, and this one is the server list, where you could change different servers. Now for the server list, you will have 4 main different servers: boss fights, beginners, standard, and voice chat. As a beginner to the game, I recommend that you go to the beginners section, and then you want to join a server that has a region that is closest to you. Boss fight is basically PvE, where you fight a boss with other players. Standard is basically where you fight higher level players, and voice chat is pretty much the same thing as standard, except you have voice chat enabled. But the main server I recommend you go to is definitely beginners. So this is an overview of Roblox Combat Warriors for beginners. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below if you learned something from this video. Anyways, I hope everyone has a good rest of their day, and I'll see everyone in the next video.